Manners, respect, people. Manners, respect, people. Hope everybody is warm and cozy. People, you know what me keep on saying it in a anything when you do, you need support and you need teamwork. You need support, you need teamwork, you need. You know, the funny thing about it is, when you talk to people about how important it is to work as a team, and them I tell you, say, like myself, them rather be alone. I rather be alone if there's nothing to do, right? If when I read a book or something like that, I play a game of chess instead of hang out with people who are just gonna make things not comfortable. It's much better. Well, it's a lot safer too. uh, it's a lot safer if you hang out by yourself. Unless you hate yourself enough to hurt yourself. But for me, it's always about learning and understanding, right? Those things are so important. And if you know and learn, that falls on you. But I say education are one of the key things them when you carry no for with you. I'm gonna keep on saying it's not the smartest person. So I watch a game look while now. I'm see how the people them the team will win or them work as a team. Right? Them have people on the bench, but even if the people on the bench come in and score 2 points and then win by two, and 2 points are important, and them actually win by 2 points. So when you work as a team, it's so rewarding. So I say all of the evil people them work together, I mean, I say you have to be evil to work together, but if them can put aside for them differences, right? If we do bad things, why can't we good people put them difference aside for the good things? And so one thing I love about the past, is the people them used to be inclusive, so much organization. I'm sure say them the organization wasn't perfect. The people them because everywhere you go and people there's gonna be problem. There's always gonna be solution too. But trust me, any which part people there you gonna have problems. Well, more than one person then. But usually anyway people there and it's also come down to the type of people then because some people are just destructive. So you're gonna have issue there. So people just want peace and tranquility. talk about it, you know. Just the fact that war did the boat for so long. But just because war did the boat so long, I know everywhere war did up there. I just certain places have peace and tranquility. Never have a place where the people the tribe where them just stay by themselves. People try go there and then box up the people them. Reed says somebody they go put coke or something there or something like that and them arrest the person. It's that are the weirdest thing, you know, people. It's some people just don't want to be bothered. What's uh, and of them people that people want bother. The people that don't want the things where them no want in. And that's how society is, you know. Society always want in your business. But them have people out there will love tell the whole world them business and then the world condemn them for them business. uh, people. Them tell the whole world say, look, I'm this. And the whole world say, well, we don't like you as this. And then get upset to the world. That's how the world is. That's why I say critics. Pretty much the whole world is a critic the moment you put something out there. Usually not the good things, you know. People know nothing to do with the good things. Just the negative and the not so positive. So people, Mr. Me I did want what I wanted to do a video on our invention and I did a few of them. The video I did before this was pretty much the invention them where is happening in the present time. I'm gonna tell you that these information is just coming up to be highlighted by me, and that's what I'm doing. I highlight the greatness or a great accomplishment. And the funny thing about it is people must see a video where the video wanted the video was about like I said there's good people and bad people within our culture, right? I'm gonna see one video and it was upon the bad people them. I'm gonna do a video upon that too, but it coming like say all of the video them everything are organized themselves. So this are the video I'm say it's gonna be about inventions and the people them invent. Right people? So the story them is like say them in a order. Again, them things here is not no flashy nothing, it's just for us to listen, understand, for us to proceed with learning, teaching, because school open. Right, people? So this one now, again, from the Black Journals. So it's 100 things you didn't know were invented by Black people. Until I said there's enough of them when we did, we passed through already. Just not pass through, but touch on. Right? So as we proceed, people.
From the 3-light traffic signal, refrigerated trucks, automatic elevator doors, color monitors for desktop computers, to the shape of the modern ironing board, the clothes wringer, blood banks, laser treatment for cataracts, home security systems, and the Super Soaker children's toy. Many objects and services Americans use every day were invented by black men and women, despite the cruel segregation and racism which dominated their time. Some of these innovators were recognized for their inventions, but countless other inventors of color have gone largely unrecognized. Others, completely lost to history. There were some instances where black inventors would compete with Alexander Graham Bell, with Thomas Edison, and their inventions will turn out incredibly good, and sometimes even more transformative. But they just did not have access to the capital. Neither were they granted the same access to all the different systems that the United States puts in place to support white inventors.
And past, present, future people, me tell you say, the one I'm middle pan today now is the fact that we can invent so much stuff, and the stuff the more we invent, right, we don't get the credit for it. That number one. And the stuff the more we invent, we don't get the funding, right? We don't get the money for do the things them. That's why I say great inventions comes from necessity, right? I talk about it, people. Or you can be a great inventor and you use the best product them in the world. The best product them, the finest ingredients them for say you're a scientist. Scientists make things out of necessity. As we proceed, people.
Puts in place to support white inventors. In this video, we will be discussing, amongst many others, 50 black inventors and their inventions that changed the world. 1. Thomas L. Jennings. During a time in American history when the vast majority of black people were slaves and owned as properties, luckily Thomas L. Jennings was born to a free black family in New York City. This awarded him the opportunity to learn a trade as a tailor and eventually operate his own tailoring business. Jennings was dissatisfied with the traditional methods of cleaning clothing, which gave him the impetus to experiment with new techniques. In the process, he had ended up inventing a dry scouring method, a precursor to modern dry cleaning. His dry scouring allowed clothing to get clean without damage from water soaking through the fibers. In 1821, Jennings was granted a patent for his new cleaning method, making him most likely the first black individual in the US to receive a patent. Jennings established his own tailor and dry cleaning business and gained a reputation as a respected local community member. Using the proceeds from his business, Jennings had joined in the fight for the abolition of slavery. He had as well purchased the freedom of his wife, Elizabeth, who at the time was an indentured servant, and that of his children. 2. Judy Reed.
There's actually a couple different ways.
Okay, people, I'm gonna say that are the first, the dry cleaning machine. That are the first people. As we proceed.
Judy Reed was the first African American woman to receive a patent. She received the patent for a device that kneaded and rolled dough. Very little is known about Reed's life before or after she received the patent. It is known that she applied for a patent in January 1884 for her dough kneader and roller. The device improved existing dough kneaders because it mixed the dough more evenly as it went through rollers. The rollers were carved with slats that acted as kneaders. The dough then entered a covered container that protected it from dust and other things. Reed received the patent for her invention on September 23, 1884. Reed's invention significantly impacted commercial baking, and her patent paved the way for more women and minorities to obtain patents and contribute to the field of innovation. By improving the efficiency of dough preparation, her invention made baking easier and enabled the
People, we will find one big, I'm telling you now, right, left, right. I pure greatness, people. I just pure greatness. And me never hear about Judy Reed. Me never hear about this lady before, right? I'm gonna tell you, so there's gonna be so much people we are gonna hear about. Well, 100.
of more baked goods. Judy Reed's legacy as an inventor and pioneer in the baking industry has inspired generations of inventors and entrepreneurs. 3. Benjamin Banneker. As a self-taught mathematician, Benjamin Banneker demonstrated a natural talent for inventing from a young age. In his early 20s, he became fascinated with a pocket watch and borrowed it to study its mechanism. A year later, he created an early version of a chiming wall clock that struck a gong on the hour instead of playing the Westminster chime melody. Banneker's clock kept time for over 40 years. Born free in 1731, Banneker never experienced slavery. At 61, he completed the first edition of Banneker's Almanac and gave it to Thomas Jefferson, and then the United States Secretary of State. In the 18th century, almanacs were essential household items. They provided information about the timing of sunrise, sunset, lunar and solar eclipses, moon phases, and holidays. Farmers in Delaware, Maryland, Pennsylvania, and Virginia relied on Banneker's almanac as a guide. With his stunning inventions, he was able to ask Jefferson, the third president of the United States, for an advocate for equal rights for African Americans and fight against racial prejudice, and Jefferson approved it, acknowledging the fact that Black people had talents equal to those of other races. Banneker passed away in 1806, 59 years before slavery was abolished. 4. James Forten. Born and raised in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, in 1766. He served in the U.S. Navy during the Revolutionary War and was captured by the British. Despite being offered freedom if he agreed to live in England, Forten refused, choosing to remain a prisoner for liberty rather than betray his country. After the war, he became an apprentice sailmaker and developed equipment to help handle ship sails, significantly improving efficiency. His invention made him wealthy, and he used his wealth to support the abolition of slavery. Forten passed away in 1842. 5. George Peake. George Peake.
Okay, George Peake. People, I just say, look on all of them people, right? All of them people get rich, and the people them could have leave, them did have choices, right? And that me say no. The people them nowadays them have money, so them can always escape. But them people and they never escape nothing. Them understand what changes was all about, right? Them a look for make changes. They never run with. That's why I say the people them, these are real heroes. Them people I can look upon and say them people, them need to be highlighted. Because the job what them did I do then, people forget them now. Past, present. As we proceed, people.
In the Revolutionary War, invented the conventional hand mill used for grinding corn. He was part of the first settlement in what would become modern-day Cleveland, Ohio, which was largely unsettled until the early 19th century. Peake's hand mill consisted of 2 round stones, each approximately 19 inches wide. At the time, the only tools available for grinding were the traditional mortar and pestle, making the hand mill a more efficient and convenient option. Although Peake did not file for a patent, he later received credit for his invention thanks to a publication by the Cleveland Leader newspaper. 6. Andrew J. Beard. Andrew Beard was born into slavery, but became one of the country's most brilliant inventors. Even before working for various rail companies, he invented a flour mill, several plows, and a rotary steam engine. However, while working for the railroads, he developed his most famous invention, the Jenny coupler. The Jenny coupler automatically linked and locked 2 train cars as they bumped into each other, eliminating the need for workers to manually insert a metal pin and significantly reducing the risk of accidents and deaths.
Wow. So that's how when in time the train them automatically link up, the box car them. Wow. The Jenny cover. Them something that people the detail, the necessary things as inventors was necessary. As we proceed, people.
Invention, connecting train cars was dangerous work, And the Jenny coupler revolutionized transportation efficiency and safety. 7. Henry Blair. Although Henry Blair is often credited as the first black person to hold a U.S. patent, that honor belongs to Thomas Jennings, who was awarded a patent in 1821. While the U.S. Patent Office did not typically identify patent holders by race, Jennings' achievement was remarkable, given the racial prejudice and discrimination of the time. Little is known about Blair, except that he was likely not enslaved, as enslaved individuals were considered property and unable to hold patents. Blair, on the other hand, was a successful farmer who patented 2 inventions that helped him to boost his productivity. He received his first patent for a corn planter, which combined plowing, seeding, and soil coverage features on October 14, 1834. The planter resembled a wheelbarrow, with a compartment to hold the seed and rakes dragging behind to cover them. This device enabled farmers to plant their crops more efficiently and enable a greater total yield. He was later awarded a second patent for a cotton seed planter in 1836. Blair signed all his patent with an X, indicating that he was illiterate. 8. Hugh M. Brown.
People, when we talk about, I say, all right, you don't have to be educated to be a genius. We talk about that right through. I say you don't have to be the smartest person for you to be creative. Because creativity comes from within. You see? Them say him couldn't write, but him still make a X. Him still represent himself. So so that are pretty much the planter with the the back of the set people. Jeez, man. The greatness, the great Moor people, the great Moors. As we proceed.
Hi Brown was committed to improving people's living conditions as an educator with a practical mindset. He worked alongside prominent figures like Charles Chesnut, W.E.B. Du Bois, and Booker.
Again, E.D. Du Bois again, people. Connections, right? Right through, people. Right through E.D. Du Bois pop up. Not true. But again, as we proceed.
Washington to advance education with a practical mindset. He worked alongside prominent figures like Charles Chesnut, W.E.B. Du Bois, and Booker T. Washington to advance education. In addition to his work in education, Brown had gone ahead and invented a device, combining his knowledge of prototype design engineering to trap sewer water and prevent it from flowing back into homes. He was awarded a patent for his prototype design engineering invention in 1890, and his device helped people maintain a civilized living environment. 9. George Washington Carver. All 3 patents awarded to George Washington Carver were for cosmetics, paints, and stains. None of them were commercially successful. Carver's discoveries were much more important than his inventions. He discovered that continuous cotton crops in the same piece of land depleted the soil's natural nutrients. To avoid the damage, he experimented.
You see, people, even then, that I talk about, you see? Okay, I talk about say, oh, them people scientists get so much billions and trillions of dollars for create expensive stuff so nobody can't afford. And these people, it's just practical, so them just create stuff, invent stuff with little or nothing funding, and they continue, people, because that's what creativity. That just proves what creativity is and genius is. It's not done in a laboratory. It's done anywhere you have a brain. That's why I say smart people are cool. The coolest people them I know are smart people. Because smart people now have to pressure you because of superficial things. Them understand the meaning of certain things. I'm say you can't how a person treat other people, you can tell them intelligence, Because me tell you, say, most of the time when people are belittle people and are put down people for them enjoyment, it just says so much about That person, not the person who them a do it to. It's just that humanity is so important to existence, but people don't pay attention to that, right? As we proceed, people.
To avoid the damage, he experimented with crop rotation. Using peanut and sweet potato plants as the intermediates, he figured out that the system helped restore nitrogen in the soil, making the land healthy again. Now that the market had more peanuts than anybody could ever need, Carver found other product uses. Among the products were metal polish, glue, shampoo, soap, and face powder. As mentioned above, none of the inventions made him a wealthy man. 10. Shelby.
Okay, you see? And it's not about the wealth, it's about other people enjoying the practicality of things, people. So it's so amazing, as we proceed, people.
Shelby Davidson was born in Lexington, Kentucky on May 10, 1868. He graduated from Howard University in 1893 with a Bachelor of Arts degree. Davidson went on to practice law, but is most remembered as an inventor. Davidson journeyed to Washington, D.C. in 1887. Working in the auditing department of the United States Post Office, the young African American became interested in finding a more efficient way to handle government auditing functions. In 1908, after studying adding machines for 2 years, Davidson found his answer in the form of his first invention, a rewind device for adding machines. Davidson was convinced his device would greatly improve efficiency by reducing both paper usage and the time clerks spent in paperwork. The government agreed with him and officially began utilizing the invention that same year. Davidson was also keenly interested in mechanical tabulation, and in 1911 patented a device designed to help postal clerks. This automatic fee device, which Davidson continued to improve, paved the way for more efficient processing of postal fees. 11. Lewis Latimer. Born in 1848 to formerly enslaved parents, Lewis Latimer was fortunate enough to land a job at a patent law firm after the Civil War, where he fought on the Union's side. At the firm, he provided valuable invention design, helped as a draftsman whose drawings of machinery, mechanisms, and various inventions determined whether any patent application would be approved or denied. A skillful draftsman of his time, Latimer was employed by Alexander Graham Bell to draw the draft for the telephone design, for which Bell received the patent in 1876. While working as a draftsman and assistant manager for the U.S. Electric Lighting Company, he improved the process of making carbon filament for light bulbs so that it might last longer and be cheaper to produce. The filament was even more effective than Edison's design, and in 1884, he was invited to work with Thomas Edison himself. He was the first person of color to be included in the exclusive Edison Pioneers organization. Latimer also invented a precursor to the modern air conditioner known as an apparatus for cooling and disinfecting, locking umbrellas, improved train bathroom design, a lamp fixture, and a device called book supporter. 12. Jan Ernst Matzeliger. Jan Ernst Matzeliger spent a considerable amount of time creating numerous prototype designs until he succeeded in building his first shoe-lasting machine. This machine was designed to make the leather uppers fit flawlessly with the mold, ultimately revolutionizing the shoemaking industry.
Why did Amazon send me 20,000?
Jan, let's Zimmer, people. We never heard that brother here before still, but again, I'm telling you, I said there's so much people I never hear before still. Somebody that got on this part, people, and the part is just showing me like how great. Take a deep breath, people. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. People, I'm telling you, looking at our history and our story, there's nothing wrong with it. That's number one. There's nothing wrong with the past. There's nothing wrong with the present. There's nothing wrong with our future if we change it. Because all through history, all we're doing is just living, enjoying, progressing without the credit. That's all. As we proceed, people.
Industry. With his invention, shoemaking efficiency drastically improved, increasing production output from 50 pairs a day by hand to anywhere between 150 and 700 pairs daily. Introducing easier manufacturing processes and larger production quantities led to a 50% reduction in shoe prices nationwide. Additionally, Matzeliger is credited with inventing the nailing machine. 13. George Washington Murray. George Washington Murray's inventions were all born from his experience as a farmer and his determination to make labor less arduous. Having been born into slavery, Murray grew up on a Rember cotton plantation until the Emancipation Proclamation was signed. His first 3 patents, a furrow opener, a marker, and a stalk knocker cultivator, were granted in April 1984. 2 months later, the U.S. Patent Office awarded him 4 more patents, including for cotton chopper and fertilizer distributor devices. Murray was also distantly related to Jim Clyburn, a U.S. House of Representatives member from South Carolina. 14. John Parker. John Parker was a conductor in the Underground Railroad network and an American abolitionist who dedicated his life to freeing over 1,000 enslaved individuals. In addition to his heroic efforts, Parker was also a successful businessman and inventor. He is credited with the early designs of the tobacco press and harrow, for which he received patents in 1884 and 1885. Moreover, Parker established the Phoenix Foundry in 1890, the largest between Cincinnati and Portsmouth. Parker's contributions to society were not limited to his activism. He also became one of only 55 Americans to be awarded multiple U.S. patents by 1900. 15. Norbert Rillieux. Norbert Rillieu's father was the owner of a vast sugar plantation. After studying in Paris, Rillieux returned to the United States and began inventing sugar production devices, focusing on the evaporating process. His first patented invention was a vacuum evaporator for the refining process, which produced whiter and more refined sugar. Over time, this invention was widely used in other industries, including whiskey, gelatin, condensed milk, glue, and soap. 16. Samuel Scottron. Samuel Scottron, the inventor of the dual adjustable mirror on a pole commonly seen in traditional barbershops, named his invention the Scottron mirror. This mirror is positioned so clients can observe their haircut from every angle. Scottron patented this practical invention in 1868. Following his success in the barbershop industry, Scottron created several commonplace household items, including curtain rods, adjustable window cornices, a pole tip, and a supporting bracket. He spent approximately 15 years traveling between the United States and Canada to sell these products. In addition to his successful career in inventing, Scottron was also a co-founder of the Cuban Anti-Slavery Society. 17. Lewis Temple. Lewis Temple, a highly skilled blacksmith, is credited with inventing an improved harpoon that revolutionized whaling in 1845. Unlike conventional harpoons, Temple's harpoon resembled a fishhook in shape. Once the hook penetrated the whale, it would latch onto the flesh, making it exceedingly difficult for the animal to escape. This improved design, called Temple's iron, became the standard harpoon in the whaling.
Wow, people. That's pretty much like the fish hook. Straight, that's like the fish hook. So, Louis Temple invented, well, you make a pattern feet. So you see people, all of the people them when we say more and find out who owns the pattern for them, because you see, all of them things here is like generational wealth, you know. So if you look at it, how much riches we've been through. Me people, we'll be rich over and over and over and over and over and over. If we only knew. As we proceed, people.
This improved design, called Temple's iron, became the standard harpoon in the whaling industry throughout the 19th century. Despite his invention's success, Lewis Temple was not a whaler himself. 18. Sarah Breedlove Walker. Sarah Breedlove Walker, popularly known as Madam C.J. Walker, is arguably the most well-known African-American woman inventor. She revolutionized hair care by designing the first hot comb and inventing the idea of pomade. Before the hot comb, most African-American women straighten their hair with clothing irons, resulting in scalp and facial burns and damaged hair. Walker sold her inventions and helped transform the marketing strategy for cosmetic products. She established a large group of saleswomen known as the Walker Clubs, a system later adopted by Mary Kay. In 1908, Walker
A system adopted by Mary Kay. A system adopted by Mary Kay. As we proceed.
Founded Lelia College in Pittsburgh to teach women how to sell cosmetic products. Her innovative marketing tactics made her the first African-American woman millionaire in the United States. Despite her wealth, Walker remained philanthropic and contributed significantly to various nonprofit groups, including the National Association for the Advancement of Colored Persons, NAACP.
Here comes the good old NAACP again, people. I'm telling you, say it used to be a community in the black organized. It's like it used to be. The black community used to be connected, at least, people. Everybody used to be connected. Everybody used to be connected, people. So she had the first black millionaire. But you see, people, all of these people now just get rich and move out. All of these people continue to fight with their money to elevate and educate. As we proceed, people.
She even funded a scholarship to help women enroll in college-level education. 19. Granville T. Woods. Granville T. Woods was awarded the patent for the steam boiler in 1884. Leveraging the communication technology of the late 1800s, he invented an apparatus that combined the functions of the telephone and the telegraph, called telegraphony. This groundbreaking system allowed telegraph stations to send both voice and text messages over the same line. Alexander Graham Bell's company, a white company located in Massachusetts, USA, later purchased the technology's patent. Woods also invented the synchronous multiplex railway telegraph.
Okay. So him patenting up people. And then, and you never hear about him before, no? Granville T. Woods. So him patent it and then sell the technology to Alexander Graham Bell, and the people them just talk about Alexander Graham Bell. Oh boy. As we proceed.
A communication system that enabled railroad workers to determine the precise locations of trains on any given railway. This technology not only improved scheduling, but also helped prevent railway accidents.
So just like all them people I use the tracking system for tracking now, the same pretty much what it used to be then. Then could I track the train system them. So the technology, the people left, right, and center, the technology them what we pass through. As we proceed, people.
His life, Woods received over 50 patents in various industries. Between 1900 and 1907, he was granted 20 patents for electronic devices that controlled trains. His numerous inventions earned him the nickname, the Black Edison. 20. Elijah McCoy. Elijah McCoy never had to endure life in slavery thanks to the Underground Railroad. which helped his parents escape to Canada after being enslaved. At 15, McCoy enrolled in a boarding school in Edinburgh, Scotland, to study mechanical engineering. Despite his education, McCoy encountered...
We got Sir Elijah McCoy. C.O. Elijah McCoy. People, I'm telling you, say left, right, and center, I know. It's so amazing to see all of them people. You see, all them people are just, all of them people is part of our story. And every day, things what we do is like, we still a benefit from them, you know. For real. We still a benefit from them. So look, so me all have 100 people, great people, and now me have to go highlight them differently. For sure, them individual. Because again, this is just getting to know these great inventors. As we proceed, people.
McCoy encountered difficulty finding respectable work in the United States, mainly due to racial discrimination. He eventually secured a position as a fireman for a railroad company, where he was responsible for oiling the moving parts of the trains. The need for greater efficiency inspired McCoy to invent an automatic lubrication mechanism that reduced the need for labor and kept the train running smoothly. Some attribute the phrase, "the real McCoy," to the success and efficiency of this mechanism, making it an expression of superior performance and quality. 21. William Henry Barnes. William Henry Barnes, an ENT doctor at the Frederick Douglass Hospital in Philadelphia, was not only a pioneer in the field of medical device design and development, but he also credited with inventing the hypophiscope. Incorporating his expertise in medical device design and development, this innovative medical instrument was specifically designed to reach the pituitary gland on the brain's underside. This gland secretes hormones into the bloodstream, and Barnes's invention made it easier for doctors to access it. Although reaching the gland without any specialized medical device was possible, Barnes's instrument greatly facilitated the procedure. In addition to inventing the hypophiscope, Barnes improved upon a method to remove tonsils without bleeding, refining the process for greater efficiency. 22. Leonidas Berry. In 1953, the Eater Instrument Company manufactured the Eater-Palmer biopsy gastroscope. 2 years later, Leonidas Berry invented an attachment for the device that allows doctors to collect tissue from a patient's stomach without resorting to surgical procedures. The modified device, the Eater-Berry biopsy attachment, represented a significant advancement in medical technology. In 1960, after conducting extensive studies of the stomachs of alcoholics, Dr. Berry made a groundbreaking discovery. Excessive alcohol consumption caused more damage to the liver than to the stomach. This discovery revolutionized the treatment of alcoholism, shifting the focus to the liver as the primary organ affected by alcohol abuse. Berry's discovery marked a significant milestone in the medical community's understanding of the harmful effects of alcohol on the body. 23. Billy Blanks. Taibo is a total body fitness program that combines several disciplines.
Okay, him said Taibo, but it's Taibo. I know Billy Blanks. Him did that on TV for the longest time. Him did having exercise programs. As we proceed, people, we just jump in there just because I know the brother here from present times. As we proceed, people.
Fitness program that combines several disciplines, including martial arts and aerobics. The name is a portmanteau of Taekwondo and boxing. Developed in 1976 by Taekwondo practitioner Billy Banks, the program only gained widespread popularity in the United States during the 1990s. 1 hour of Taibo routine is believed to burn up to 800 calories, twice as many as a conventional aerobic session. This intensive calorie-burning program has made it a popular choice among fitness enthusiasts looking to achieve rapid weight loss and muscle toning.
No one seems to know this, but
Well, I know it as Taibo when it came out. Enough people did depend on the exercise, the fitness. I remember them did have trust me, people did in the 90s, the 80s, people did just start moving to the exercise, the healthy thing. And then it come in, like say people drop off of it because they're nasty enough. I that may try show if it's a trend, it's only gonna last for a little bit and then it goes away. Right? But healthy lifestyle is a lifestyle practice. It's not just a trend type of thing. So when they come out with them exercise and everything, it was like a lot of people did on it. But nowadays you don't see them things anymore much. As we proceed, people.
And muscle toning. 24. Bessie Blount Griffin. After World War II, many soldiers returned home with permanent injuries. At the Veterans Hospital in Chicago, physical therapist Bessie Blount Griffin treated amputees and patients who had lost the use of their limbs. Determined to improve their quality of life, Griffin invented the portable receptacle support, a device that enabled patients to eat without assistance. The device consisted of a tube attached to a bowl and connected to a brace around the patient's neck. Though it may seem crude, the invention provided greater independence to those who needed it most. Griffin, born in Chesapeake, Virginia, was the first African-American woman to work at Scotland Yard in London, England. Her innovative spirit and dedication to helping others continue to inspire new generations of inventors and medical professionals alike. 25. Otis Boykin. Otis Boykin was a brilliant inventor who made significant contributions across various fields. Throughout his life, he patented 26 devices, including the electronic resistors used in guided missiles, pacemakers, and IBM computers. Boykin's electronic resistors were widely adopted due to their durability, which made them resistant to temperature changes, extreme acceleration, and shocks. In addition to these inventions, he held patents for an electronic air filter and a locking mechanism for cash registers. Boykin's numerous innovations continue to shape and advance fields ranging from aerospace to healthcare and technology. 26. George Carruthers. In 1969, George Carruthers invented the far ultraviolet camera and spectrograph that accompanied the Apollo 16 mission to the moon. The camera, plated in gold, could capture high-quality images of Earth from the moon's surface. The device provided stunning photographs and helped scientists discover the presence of hydrogen in space and understand the mechanisms of air pollution. Carruthers' invention has since led to new theories about the birth of stars and has influenced global efforts to control air pollution. The far ultraviolet camera and spectrograph remain remarkable in space exploration and scientific innovation. 27. Michael Crosland. Michael Crosland's invention, the MedTech 410, revolutionized blood monitoring with its computerized technology. Before its development, medical professionals had to rely on their instincts and the patient's vital signs for diagnosis. The MedTech 410 eliminated the guesswork, providing doctors with accurate and reliable data for making informed treatment decisions. Crosland also developed a similar device, the MedTech 420, which automatically adjusts for surrounding noise and air pressure while monitoring a patient's pulse. Together, these inventions have improved the accuracy and efficacy of medical treatments. demonstrating the power of technological innovation in medicine.
Babe,
I'm just saying wow, people. I'm just saying wow, wow, wow. I'm gonna keep on saying to all of the people them what things say. Freedom life have no meaning. Me just a say, even though the dire situation where them people did live in, them always make life meaningful. No matter how tough the situation, and people are tough it out, and people are produce in a tough times. Show them greatness through tough situation, people. So every time I hear all them names I never hear before, all I'm saying is wow. And now it's for me to find out really them story now. Cause me tell you say once one book open, 100 other books open, right? As we proceed, people.
In medicine. 28. Meredith Charles Gourdine. Meredith Charles Gourdine was a pioneering inventor who applied the principles of electrogas dynamics, EGD, to create groundbreaking devices. Among his most notable innovations were the Electrodyne spray gun, which simplified painting on challenging surfaces like metal frames, and the Incinerade, which reduced air pollution from incinerators. Gourdine was the first to apply electrogas dynamics to practical inventions, and his contributions extend beyond these devices. He also invented an electric car battery, a method for repairing potholes using old car tires, a system for extracting oil from shale rock, and a way to remove fog from airport runways. Throughout his career, Gourdine earned 25 patents between 1969 and 1996. His innovative spirit and commitment to
1969 to 1996, people. Past and present, people. People, them great still are the greatness. As we proceed, people.
the world around him continue to inspire inventors and scientists in today's world. 29. Walter Lincoln Hawkins. Walter Lincoln Hawkins, born in 1911 in Washington, D.C., was the grandson of a slave. He attended Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute after high school and was one of only 2 African American students. Hawkins earned his doctorate from McGill University in 1938, becoming the first Black person to hold a technical staff position at Bell Laboratories. While at Bell Labs, Hawkins developed his most famous invention, a weather-resistant polymer coating for telephone wires. This plastic sheath could withstand extreme temperature changes and last for decades, replacing the lead materials previously used to protect telephone cables.
Wow. Yo, people, me telling you, say that's something that tough for real, you know. Because they have a whole bunch of little bit of wire in it. We have to cut that open. Yes, that thing is holy. Wow. Walter Lincoln Hawkins, people. I invent that. And them used to use lead for cover up the telephone wire them before. Wow, people. Amazing. As we proceed.
Hawkins' invention revolutionized the telecommunications industry and significantly impacted everyday life. In 1976, Hawkins retired from Bell Labs and was appointed research director by the Plastics Institute of America. His groundbreaking work as a scientist and inventor opened doors for future generations of Black scientists and helped shape the world we live in today. 30. Elmer Samuel Imes. George Carruthers invented the far ultraviolet light camera and spectrograph, which captured high-quality images of Earth from the moon. In contrast, Elmer Samuel Imes was an astrophysicist who improved spectrometers to measure the amount of infrared in the atmosphere. His invention was subsequently used in various applications, including chemical lasers and rocket engines. Iames's work helped pave the way for significant advancements in atmospheric and environmental monitoring and space exploration. 31. Lonnie Johnson.
It was our 5th CRM, and it was
Lonnie Johnson. Film no. He's a present. He's now. Cause we hear film name before. As we proceed, people.
Lonnie Johnson. Lonnie Johnson's passion for scientific experimentation began during childhood, when he would conduct experiments in his kitchen, building robots and making batches of rocket fuel. After working at NASA from 1979 to 1991, Johnson founded the Johnson Research and Development Company, Incorporated, creating 3 other development companies in Atlanta, Georgia. While Johnson's work at NASA focused on high-tech research programs, such as a nuclear power source for the Galileo mission to Jupiter and a stealth bomber, his passion for inventing toys and everyday tools never faded. With around 80 patents to his name, Johnson has created a wide range of inventions, including compressed air guns, digital distance measuring instruments, an automatic sprinkler controller, and even a wet diaper detector. However, his most famous invention remains the Super Soaker, a pressurized water gun that revolutionized the toy industry. 32. Frederick McKinley Jones. Returning to Halleck, Minnesota after World War I, Frederick McKinley Jones found work as a movie projectionist and a mechanic. Jones's natural gift for machines and mechanics led him to invent the first sound synchronization device for motion pictures. His innovation made it possible for films to incorporate synchronized soundtracks, and it quickly revolutionized the movie industry. While sound synchronization was a great invention, Jones held no patent for it. His first patent was for a ticket dispensing machine. Jones held more than 60 other patents, but his most famous and significant invention was the refrigerated truck, or more specifically, the roof-mounted cooling system used on trucks.
Wow, people, that take the cake. So all of them cooling truck with them have with the big cooling system. Are this someone that designed that? Wow. That's really wow, people. I didn't know that. As we proceed.
Awarded the patent for it in 1940. During World War II, his invention played an important role in preserving food, supplies, and blood for the wounded. Jones's other inventions include a control device for internal combustion engines, a temperature control system, and a rotary compressor. 33. Marjorie Stewart Joyner. Marjorie Stewart Joyner was an African-American businesswoman and community leader who significantly contributed to the beauty industry. She was the supervisor of more than 200 beauty schools under Madame C.J. Walker's network, and her clients included prominent figures such as Ethel Waters, Marian Anderson, and Billie Holiday. Joyner held the patent for a permanent...
People, big connection. And you see how them people used to support each other back then, though. Right in the circle, people, right in the circle. As we proceed.
Waving machine, revolutionizing the hair care industry. The machine used a combination of chemicals and heat to curl hair, replacing the traditional curling iron and reducing the time and effort required to achieve long-lasting curls. Joyner was also an advocate for civil rights and an active member of the National Council of Negro Women. 34. Percy Levon. Julian. Percy Levon Julian was a renowned chemist who made many significant inventions. One of his creations was a soy protein coating paper that was a cheaper alternative to milk protein. This paper was used in a product called aerofoam, which was used to smother fires from burning gasoline and oil. During World War II, the U.S. Navy also used aerofoam. Although aerofoam had slow knockdown characteristics, it was safe to use as long as it was applied above the burning liquid.
I have to do. I have to do some more um deep dive on these people, because this is just an introduction to them people. Wow, people. Each and every one of them people have them own individual story for telling up. As we proceed, people.
Foam had slow knockdown characteristics. It was safe to use as long as it was applied above the burning liquid. Julian's most famous inventions were synthetic hormones, including physostigmine and cortisone, also derived from soybean plants. Physostigmine is still used to treat glaucoma, while cortisone is used for rheumatoid arthritis. In addition to his scientific achievements, Julian was a prominent civil rights activist and raised money for the NAACP's legal and education divisions. 35. John King. A sonic transducer uses sound waves to determine an object's speed, distance, and other units of measurement. John King invented an early warning sonic transducer in 1972, which could detect potential problems with aircraft engines before takeoff. A professional in the aerospace and safety industries, he also invented an alarm system in 1999. It was not just any other alarm system for home uses, but a NASA-approved one. 36. Garrett Morgan. Garrett Morgan invented the first hair straightening cream, albeit by accident. However, his other two inventions, the traffic signal and gas mask, resulted from deliberate research and development. His gas mask, known as the Morgan helmet, was identified in the patent application as a breathing device and was adopted by firefighters to help them put out fires without inhaling poisonous air. Morgan was awarded the patent in 1912, and soldiers used the gas mask during World War I. With the money earned from his inventions, Morgan could buy a car. While driving near an intersection in Cleveland, Ohio, he witnessed a terrible accident, which inspired him to invent a yield component as an addition to the existing traffic signal. The signal was intended to warn drivers about an upcoming stop. The yield component became one of the world's first 3 light systems, and Morgan was awarded the patent for it in 1924. Morgan's other inventions include the round belt fastener, hat fastener, and friction drive clutch. 37. James Parsons Jr. James Parsons held several patents related to metal fabrication methods. Born May 30th, 1900, metallurgist James A. Parsons Jr. invented Duramet 20, also known as Alloy 20, stainless steel alloy. Developed in the 1930s, this corrosion-resistant alloy is used today in a wide range of industrial processes. In 1929, Parsons received the first of 8 patents involving the development and application of non-corrosive metals, and then began developing the steel formulation known as Duramet 20. Duramet 20 is classified as a high-alloy austenitic stainless steel containing nickel and chromium, with lesser percentages of molybdenum, copper, silicon.
Stop it. Oh, people. I look, Mr. People, me not have no big title after my last name, so all of these big words and stuff, just to highlight one of these words, we're gonna need days and days. But just imagine, people, how great these people mind is for them people have to come up with all of these things. I am just saying, people. So pretty much stainless steel are what him invented. As we proceed, people.
Manganese, carbon, and other elements. Its composition is balanced to provide increased sulfuric acid resistance over conventional 18-8 stainless steels, while maintaining equal or superior resistance to many other important corrosives. In 1935, Duriron produced the first commercial castings from Duramet 20. This alloy became the basis for a family of stainless steel alloys used extensively in all industries involving the handling of corrosives.
Sustainable housing for all.
Okay, so that must be the coating then. So that's pretty much it's a coating them use for all of the the corrosive materials. Then put them in a them container there first, and then they can put the corrosive material in it. Yo, that's deep, people. Trust me. As we proceed, people, introduction to invention part two.
The handling of corrosives. In 1948, Duriren licensed Parsons Duramet 20 patents to Carpenter Steel, which introduced Carpenter 20 stainless steel, also called Alloy 20. In 1997, Duriren, then known as Durco International, merged with BWIP to form Flowserve Corp. Flowserve manufactures and sells Duramet 20, which remains widely used today in a range of industries, including the production of detergents, soaps, fertilizers, plastics, synthetic rubber, and fibers. Under various trade names, Duramet 20 is extensively used in the petrochemical and refinery, marine, nuclear, aerospace, automotive, pharmaceutical, textile, and chemical and food processing industries. End-use applications include pumps, valves, sheets, plates, bars, flanges, fasteners, fittings, agitators, storage and mixing tanks, metal yarns, and the crankshaft. To this day, Duramet 20 continues to impact our everyday lives, including when we fly, drive, use energy sources.
Oh, people. In patent this no, so that means that this patent is making buku cash, people. This is why it's so important for your patents. If you patent it and still own them patent for them people are using product, people. Everything in our everyday life, this man is touching us in every weird sense of the weird, people. So him company is probably one of the richest company in the world. I'm definitely I forgot highlighting, people. Wow. As we proceed.
Take drug therapies, protect our food supply, and clean our environment. 38. Edwin Roberts Russell. During World War II, Edwin Roberts Russell was one of the chemists working on the Manhattan Project at the Metallurgical Laboratory of the University of Chicago, a secret government-funded research to develop the atomic bomb. The project eventually led to the development of two types of atomic bombs, known to history as the Little Boy and Fat Man, used in the bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki in 1945. Russell held 11 patents for nuclear energy, including a method for separating plutonium from uranium and ion exchange absorption for plutonium separation. His works contributed significantly to the advancement of nuclear technology. 39. Earl Shaw. Earl D. Shaw is the father of computer scientist Alan C. Shaw. He spent his early years in rural Mississippi, living on Hobson Plantation, where he attended a 3-room school. His teachers did not have college degrees, but he considers his primary...
Hold on, people. Again, I keep on telling you, oh, it's so important for you to be educated, but until you say smartness doesn't come from a classroom, it comes from within you. It's just encouragement and belief, right? So when them talk about, oh, it's a 3-room classroom and the teacher is not this, abilities know no bounds, right? Ability know no bounds. You just have to say that, people, as we proceed.
Education to have been excellent. At the age of 12, he and his mother moved to Chicago, Illinois. Earl Shaw attended Crane Technical High School, where he was first introduced to physics. Although the school did not provide a good general education or general guidance program, it did inspire Shaw to pursue a career in physics. After earning his PhD, Dr. Shaw worked 19 years as a research scientist for Bell Laboratories in Murray Hill, New Jersey, where he was the co-inventor of the spin-flip Raman tunable laser. This device is used to adjust the strength of a laser beam, which is particularly helpful when performing delicate precision-required operations. Earl Shaw later joined Rutgers in 1991 and moved to the Newark campus a new laser technology, the far-infrared free electron, that he developed at Bell Labs. The laser, which is to be operational in 1999, generates short tunable far infrared light pulses that will permit the analog or pulsed magnetic resonance techniques for the first time in the optical wavelength regime. 40. Dox Thrash. Working as a printmaker during the Great Depression, Dox Thrash invented a new technique for etching copper in 1937. His discovery, known as the carborundum process, became a standard practice among printers and printmakers. This process involves using silicon carbide grit, which is sprinkled onto the plate before it is printed, creating a texture and tone that mimics the look of charcoal or pencil drawings. Thrash wanted to name the process Opheliograph, after his mother, Ophelia. 41. Moses Fleetwood. Moses Fleetwood Walker is best known for being one of the first black people to play Major League...
Babe.
Yes, people. Moses Fleet. I'm just people, me just write them down and I go through them people come telling you say eventually when we search up these people and find out, because some of these people are still alive, right? And I may have to find out them story people, because these people are so amazing, right? These people are so amazing. As we proceed.
Moses Fleetwood. Moses Fleetwood Walker is best known for being one of the first black people to play Major League Baseball, joining the Toledo Blue Stockings in 1884. Walker is a remarkable black man for his time, not only for playing professional baseball.
He's a remarkable black man for his time. People, for any time we are remarkable, our greatness shines. Well, greatness just is greatness, people. It's just undeniable. So for his time, so the same thing they say about Sankora, he was ahead of his time. Abraham Torre is ahead of his time. Everybody's ahead of them time. Everybody's, meanwhile, it's just great. It's just great people. It's undeniable, so these people are amazing. As we proceed, people.
For receiving a higher education and earning 4 patents for inventions in artillery shells and improved film reels. In spite of his turbulent post-baseball life, Walker utilized his education and creativity to work on various inventions. In 1891, Walker designed and patented an outer casing for an artillery shell that used gunpowder instead of compressed air. His artillery shell failed to garner much interest, but he went on to co-own a hotel with his brother, Weldy, and manage the Opera House, a local movie theater. While being surrounded by motion pictures, opera, and vaudeville, Walker invented holders for film reels that could be easily loaded by projectionists. In 1891, he was granted his first patent for a detachable shirt collar, and later, 3 other patents. 42. Sarah Boone. It's worth noting that Boone was born into slavery. In the 19th century, Sarah Boone improved the ironing board, which had been around for years, but often overlooked. On April 26, 1892, she obtained United States patent number 473,563 for her improvements to the ironing board. Boone's ironing board was designed to improve the quality of ironing the sleeves and bodies of women's garments. The ironing board was very narrow, curved, and made of wood. The shape and structure allowed it to fit a sleeve, and it was reversible, so one could iron both sides of the sleeve. Boone is regarded as the second African-American woman to attain a patent, after Judy Reed. Along with Miriam Benjamin, Ellen Eglin, and Sarah Good, Boone was a pioneering African-American woman inventor who developed new technology for the home. 43. Mary Van Britten Brown. An African-American nurse named Mary Van Britta Brown spent many nights alone at her home in Queens, New York, in the 1960s. The crime rate was high in the neighborhood, making her feel unsafe each time her husband was away. In addition, the police were largely unresponsive and could sometimes be unreliable.
That's an understatement right there, people. Ah, that's an understatement, people. Eh? Often unreliable, or more than often unreliable. As we proceed.
1966, out of necessity, she built a homemade security system consisting of cameras connected to a monitor. The camera could mechanically slide into several peepholes in the front door and broadcast the image to the screen. The design allowed her to survey the neighborhood from the indoor comfort of her home and avoid having unwanted guests around. Van Britten Brown continued improving the system by adding a microphone to speak to the person at the door, a button to call the police, and an unlock mechanism. She and her husband were awarded the patent for the system in 1969. Modern home security systems feature various elements based on their design. 44. Alexander Miles. In the past, riding elevators was complicated and dangerous. Passengers had to manually shut both the elevator and shaft doors before riding. Forgetting to shut the doors properly.
Hey, contractors, are you?
Alexander Miles. Again, people, most of them invention is out of necessity, people. Right? Or betterment of the human race. Past, present, and future, no, people. That's innovation. I love them things, are people. As we proceed.
Or ignoring them posed a real risk of falling down the shaft. When Alexander Miles's daughter was almost involved in a catastrophic accident, he decided to develop a system to make elevators safer. In 1887, he was granted a patent for an automatic opening and closing mechanism for elevator and shaft doors. Miles's design is still used in modern elevators today. 45. James E. West. The vast majority of modern microphones, including those in phones and other communication devices, are based on the technology invented by James E. West in 1960. However, he was not the only person credited with the invention, and West was working alongside Gerhard Sessler at the Bell Laboratories, tasked with creating a compact and sensitive microphone. Their invention, the foil electret microphone, was cheaper to produce than the conventional condenser variant. It was not until 1964 that they perfected the design and were awarded the patent. About 4 years later, the technology had already been adopted by manufacturers of telephones, tape recorders, hearing aids, and baby monitors. 46. Mark Dean. Among the 12 people working at IBM to develop the first PC, Mark Dean was one of them. Back then, the PC was connected to a monochrome monitor, and the computer had very limited processing power. Dean began working for IBM in the 1980s as chief engineer. In addition to helping develop the IBM PC, he was also involved in creating the first color monitor. Furthermore, he led the team that created the first gigahertz chip around 1999 to 2000. It's hard to believe that it was only about 20 years ago. Now we have supercomputers and artificial intelligence with blazing processing speeds to handle even the most complicated algorithms in split seconds. As a co-creator of the personal computer, Mark Dean holds 3 out of 9 patents for the invention. In 1995, he became the first African-American IBM Fellow. 47. Patricia Bath. Patricia Bath was an academic and ophthalmologist who invented the process of removing cataracts using a laser beam device known as the laser phaco probe. She was born in Harlem in 1942 to an immigrant father from Trinidad and a mother who was a descendant of enslaved Africans and Cherokee Native Americans. Bath achieved many impressive milestones in her career. She was the first woman appointed to the ophthalmology faculty at UCLA and the first African-American woman to serve as a surgeon staff at the UCLA Medical Center. Additionally, she was the first African-American to be a Jules Stein Eye Institute member, lead a postgraduate ophthalmology training program, and complete a residency in ophthalmology at New York University. Finally, She was the first African American woman to hold a patent for a medical invention. 48. Benjamin Boardley. Benjamin Boardley was born into slavery around 1830 and taught himself to read and write with the help of his master's children. He showed an early talent for invention, which led his master to recommend him to the United States Naval Academy in Maryland. Boardley's first job at the academy was as an assistant in the Department of Natural and Experimental Philosophy, making him the first African American to hold a non-menial position there. While working in the department, Boardley developed the first steam engine on a ship. Unfortunately, due to his status as an enslaved person, he could not legally apply for or be granted a patent for his invention. As a result, Boardley sold the rights to his invention and used the proceeds to purchase his freedom from slavery. 49. Henry Brown. The black inventor, Henry Brown, is credited with developing one of the earliest prototypes of the safe deposit box in the United States in the late 19th century. Brown saw the need for a safe and convenient way to store valuable items and documents. At that time, though banks already offered a safe place to store jewelry and other material valuables, the storage was not private, and there was nothing to prevent nosy bank employees from looking through customers' personal papers. Thus, most people kept their important documents tucked away in cardboard or wooden boxes at home, unprotected from destruction and theft. Patented on November 2nd, 1886, and described by its inventor as a receptacle for storing and preserving papers, Brown's box was made of forged metal and could be sealed with a lock and key. In the decades that followed, safe deposit boxes became a standard offering in most banks. And then, the final on the list is Eimbade Alfred L. Krala. Ladles and spoons were never meant to be the right tools for serving ice cream. Alfred L. Krall, who had only received basic education as a child, noticed this while working at a hotel in Pittsburgh. Because of Krall, nobody has to use a regular spoon to struggle to make scoops of ice cream today. In the year 1897, Krall invented the ice cream scooper, U.S. patent number 576,395, although it was said that he never profited from it. He was a businessman who worked for his father in the carpentry trade. He later moved to Washington, D.C., where he attended Wayland Seminary, a branch of the National Theological Institute. Later on, he had moved to Pittsburgh and worked at a hotel drugstore where he noticed that ice cream servers were having a hard time inserting chunks of ice cream into a cone. He had gone on to develop a purpose-built tool for the job known today as the ice cream scoop. Krall's invention was originally called the ice cream mold and disher, and was designed to keep ice cream and other foods from sticking. His invention spread so quickly that nobody knew the creative mind behind the design. Unfortunately, Krall never profited from this idea. That brings us to the end of yet another informative video segment. Don't forget to support our works by hitting the thumb button. Share with friends and family.
Yes, people. We don't know the rules already. Like and share up the video. Because again, people, past, present, future, it's up to us how we deem it, people. This is why I say the next generation is so important for them to understand. There is no box. There's only free will, free thoughts. Don't let nobody tell you say you can't do what you want to do. There's a genius in all of us. All I need is just support. As we proceed, people, I'm out. Thank you, people.